Hey folks, my plug came out and I lost the stream. So we'll continue on. This is just part two. Anyway, back to the Constitution and right to travel. I want you to see all these cases right here. I don't know if this will highlight. You can read that right there. Thompson versus Smith is the case. In that case, it says the right of the citizen to travel upon a public highway and to transport his property thereon in the ordinary course of life and business, in a common right which he has under the right to enjoy life and liberty, to acquire, possess property, and pursue happiness and safety. It includes the right in so doing in the ordinary, the right to drive a horse-drawn carriage or wagon thereof, or to operate in an automobile therein, for the unusual and ordinary purpose of life and business. Thomas versus Smith, I don't know, S-U-P-R-A, I don't know what that stands for, and then it says T-E-C-H. Lyons versus Danforth, MISS 12, Section 2D 784. Now, I think when they use the word business here, I think that's just personal business, not having anything to do with monetary or making any kind of money. It's not like, Ubering and stuff like that. It's something different. Okay, here's another one. I'm going to just highlight these guys, and you can read them. The right of the citizen, another court case. It's highlighted there. There's case after case here, people. The sorry thing about this is cops like to drag you out of your car and bust your windows, and cops do what they do. They're following their corporation. When I use the word corporation, I'm talking about city corporation, talking about county corporations, I'm talking about state corporations, I'm talking about federal corporations. Now, keep in mind that these are corporations, not the People's Republic. There's a difference between the United States of America Corporation and the United States of America People's Republic. Keep that in mind, folks. And if you do your research, you'll learn about that there was a coup. The 1776 symbol is actually the coup of the United States of America Corporation taking over the United States of America's People's Republic. This is history that's not being taught, folks, but this is true history. I also want to add in, as far as my knowledge, I've seen several things on this, but it's things I've heard, is that Congress has never approved the right of the United States of America Corporation. It's kind of interesting, huh? If you get out and you search, you'll find the truths in that, what I'm saying here. Here's another one. This was Campbell Vice's Walker 78 ATL. I wonder if that's Atlanta. 601-6032 Boys DL 41. Says a traveler has the equal right to employ an automobile as a means of transportation and to occupy the public highways with other vehicles in common. I don't know what they mean by employ, because to me that's commerce. That's questionable on that one. But the Supreme Court made a ruling on that. I don't know what the case was about. You'd have to do your own research. The owner of the automobile has the same right as the owner of the other vehicle to use the highway. A traveler on foot has the same right to use the public highway as an automobile or any other vehicle. Well, I've seen a lot of signs that say no pedestrians on the highway. Right here is your reading on that one. There's another one right here. I'm going to highlight this whole one right here. I'm not so sure about, they're using the word drive. You should never use the word drive. I don't know why they put the word drive in here. But this is the right of a citizen to drive on a public street in freedom from police interference, unless he is engaged in suspicious conduct associated in some manner with criminality, is a fundamental constitutional right which must be protected by the courts. That's that one there. This one says the right to make use of an automobile as a vehicle of traveling along the highway of the state is no longer an open question. The owners therefore have the same right in the roads and the streets as the drivers of a horse or those riding a bicycle or traveling in some other vehicle. This is House Vice's Kramer. There's the statute on that one for the Supreme Court ruling. I don't know if these are actual federal Supreme Court rulings or state rulings. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an attorney. But I'm just giving this information out here, so if anybody wants to dig into it, they can. This is what I'm finding out here. There's listing after listing after listing on these. This one is the automobile may be used with safety to others users of the highway in its proper use upon the highway. There is an equal right with the user of these vehicles properly upon the highway. The law recognizes such rights of use upon general principles. This is Brickman B. I can't pronounce some of these names. I'm going to highlight that for you and hopefully you can read it. Now, folks, they're saying the drive. Whoever wrote this up has used the word drive, but please don't take that as drive. It's travel. Whoever wrote this up has used the word drive. And there's a difference. Drive, again, is to work in commerce. But from going from point A to point B, you do not need a driver's license. You do not need insurance. You do not need a license plate. You do need to show proof of an affidavit showing that you are the owner of whatever you are riding, whether it be a skateboard, bicycle, a motorcycle, truck, RV, you name it. Very interesting stuff here. Here they talk about denouncing a motor carriage. I wonder what a motor carriage is. I wonder if that's what they're talking about an RV. This was Indian Springs, Colorado. There's the number on that one. Hope you guys could read that. Come on, cursor, where you at? Lost my cursor here. Oh, there you are. Okay, I found my cursor again. My cursor is so small. I think this was talking about the right of to walk alongside on foot or with any kind of vehicle. This was the city of Atlanta. Boy, I don't know how they put all that one in there. This is a Minnesota one. They got NW. I wonder if that, I don't know what that is. There could be no question of the right of automobile owners to occupy in the use of the public street, city highway, blah, blah, blah. Rural district. This is Liebert. Yeah, this is kind of an interesting one. The word automobile connotes a pleasure vehicle designated for the transportation of persons on a highway. This is by the American Mutual Liberty Insurance. This one gets into the mechanical of it used too. You have to look into some of these and see what they're actually, these cases were about to really, I think, truly understand what's being said here. Huh. Here's an interesting one. Please scroll this up just a little bit more. Motor vehicle. The term motor vehicle means every description of a carriage of other convenience propelled or drawn by a mechanical power and use of for commercial purposes on a highway. The term used for commercial purposes means the carriage or persons or property of any fare, fee, rate, charge, or any other consideration or directly or indirectly in connection with any business. Now remember what I said, if you're doing any kind of business in them words they used, you have to have a driver's license, you have to have insurance, and you have to have a license plate, and you may have to, depending on your weight load, have to have all your weight measures, all your trucking codes. Words mean a lot, folks. This is definitely a Supreme Court right here. Come on. I'm having a trouble. I can't get my mouse to scroll here. I think it's my Surface that I'm using. I'm not working on a table. Anyway, it's not going to do it. Supreme Court versus V. Morgan. There's the numbers there. Held that a carriage were properly classified as household effects. And we see no reason that the automobile should not be a similar disposal of. I don't know what that's about. Hill House versus United States of America. This has got to be a Supreme Court one right here. Citizen has the right to travel upon a highway and to transport his property therein. I think basically what they're saying, if you go to the grocery store and you buy something, or you go to the automobile store or clothing store or whatever, and you buy stuff, you're buying it for your own personal use. I think that's what this one is dealing with, that you have a right to transport it. I'm going to leave this one up a minute. This is too long to read. This is probably a very important one, folks, from here down. So go ahead and read that. This is very clear right here. This ex parte here. I'm going to read some of this. The right of a citizen to travel upon a highway and to transport his property thereon in the ordinary course of life and business is the unusual and ordinary right of a citizen's, a right of common to all. Ex parte Dick Vices Davis. That's that one. Every citizen has a full freedom to travel from place to place in the enjoyment of life and liberty. This was People Vices, this one here. No state government entity has the power to allow or deny passage on the highway, byways, nor waterways, transporting his vehicle and personal property for either recreational or business, but by being subject only to the local regulations, i.e. safety, caution signs, lights, speed limits, etc. Travel is not a privilege requiring the licensing, vehicle registration, or forced insurance. Chicago Coat, right there it is, guys. This is Chicago Coach, CO, City of Chicago. This is 337, got 3 lines there, 20. Anyway, that's the number there. So you can see there's been a lot of court rulings in a lot of states here. I recommend everybody know your federal constitutional rights. And whatever state you're in, I recommend that you read and get a copy of your state constitution. Now remember, your state constitutions cannot override your federal constitution. Just keep that in mind. Person faced with unconstitutional licensing laws which purpose to require a license as exquisite right may ignore the law and engage in impunity in exercise of such right. I'm not sure what they're saying there. But basically, it's the U.S. Supreme Court says no license necessary to drive an automobile on a highway, street, or no license is necessary. Copy and share freely. Oh, that's the 147. I'm going to highlight that one, folks, if it will. My mouse is not working very good. I'm going to leave it highlighted. Take it, read it. Yeah, this one gets into the word operator. The word operator shall not include any person who solely transports his own property and who transports no persons or property for hire or compensation. Statutes at a large California chapter, highways for the use of traveling public. This must be a statute here in California. A legal right, a constitutional right, means a right protected by law, by the Constitution. But government does not create the idea of a right or original rights. It acknowledges them. That's a very important one here, guys. This is in the Fuller's Law Dictionary. Here's a good one to look up right there. I don't know what that Bolivar Law Dictionary is. It might be something to look into. Basically, those who have the right to do something cannot be licensed for what they already have a right to do, such as license would be meaningless. The City of Chicago Vices College. Look at all these cases, folks. I'm going to let you read a little bit. I'm going to take a quick break here and let you read. If I get time where I'm home alone and no one's around, I want to play around with Alexa and see what Alexa can say. How about that, folks? Maybe make a video on that. We'll see if it can be done. I'll have to get on there and play around and see what words work to get her to talk about our Constitution. There's just so many cases here. Check all of these out right here. I'm going to read this. Any one of you lawyers and public servants, and when I say public servants, I think they're referring to police, courts, district attorneys, judges, all those people that think they're in power over us. Got another thing coming. They swore an oath to God to uphold our Constitution of God-given rights. They say otherwise is nothing but a disgrace to American and critical thinking everywhere. Go from us in peace, and may our prosperity forget you were ever a countryman. Amen. Anyway, the folks, there you go. Lots of cases. I'm going to point out where I got this. Like I say, I'm not an attorney. I'm not a lawyer. You want to read this yourself. I went to Quora. You can download that and go ahead and sign in under that right there. And look up this guy here, Mitch Campbell. He's the one that did all this research and putting this all together in one place here. Anyway, I hope you all enjoy this. And there's the link to it. So remember, never admit you're driving, folks. Always use the word I'm traveling. We have to keep our rights, folks. And the only way we're going to keep our rights is to fight for it. God, look at that whole glory there flying, just waving as beautiful as she can. Anyway, this gives you some insights between driving and traveling. There's a lot of case law out there, different states, different levels of courts. But just beware. If you try this, you're going to be like all these auditors out there. You know, they're getting themselves arrested, and they have to fight it all the way to the Supreme Court in some cases to win. Our government has taken over we the people. We are the people's republic. If you have a birth certificate from the United States of America, you are therefore owned by the corporation. And I'll tell you a little history on that. The only way that you could get out from underneath this corporation is to give up your citizenship. You give up your right of citizenship to the United States of America Corporation. Now, if you're born in this country, you have a right to be in this country. There's a lot on that, and I may someday make another video about that. A title on your house, a title on your car, a certificate, permits, fees, fines, all this stuff is corporation. It's all about greed. It's all about money. That's what it's about, folks. We need to bring the United States of America People's Republic back. We need to get before 1776. So many people, I see flags flying at 1776, and they don't even understand that 1776 is when the United States of America Corporation took over the United States of America People's Republic. That's us, folks. And Congress, to this day, that I'm aware of, has never ratified it. This corporations are illegal. They haven't been voted on. Anyway, I hope this opens your eyesight. Please don't drive, and do your own research on this. I just want to highlight there are constitutions to protect us out here, but do your own diligence. All right, folks, see you on the next one.